Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man once again coming to you from parts unknown, and I apologize for the disruption, interruption, whatever the hell you call it. But I have come back up again. We shall see if the video will play clearly. I am once again simulcasting on Rumble and Utizzle, and we'll get back to where I was. I'm going to play some videos while people come in. Hopefully they'll check back with me, and then we'll be like butter and get on a roll.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. Do I think he was killed? 100%. Yes, I do. Because he made his whole living blackmailing people. There were a lot of men in those planes, a lot of men who visited that island, a lot of powerful men who came into that apartment.
ABC and Robach released statements today, essentially saying that the story wasn't ready for air. She said that, and they said that as well, not fully vetted. ABC has still not run all these years later, and he's dead now.
Fabricated evidence, and they lied to the courts, and they did all sorts of things to have it go their way. And this was something that we can never allow to happen again. The report actually, and especially when you look into it, and the details of the report are far worse than anything I would have even imagined. What they were doing and what they would have done if I didn't make a certain move that was a very important move, because it would have been even worse if that's possible. And they might have been able to succeed. This was an overthrow of government. This was an attempted overthrow, and a lot of people were in on it. And they got caught. They got caught red-handed. I look forward to the Durham report, which is coming out in the not-too-distant future. He's got his own information, which is this information plus. And it's an incredible thing that happened, and we're lucky we caught him. I think I'm going to put this down as one of our great achievements, because what we found and what we saw, never, ever should this happen again in our country.
I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote. So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't even believe it.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay.
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things.
I would say, treasonous things against our country, people that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time. He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies. Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. There we go. We got things going a lot smoother. I went ahead and went out of YouTube, did a little this and that. I blocked somebody that I think is a pain. I don't know if that'll help or not, but I'll get into that later in the broadcast. But as I was saying when I first started, that I didn't get to my thumbnail, but that the Clintons are going to be looking at possibly getting arrested if they don't comply with that subpoena, because they arrested Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro. So this little old GIF here is coming back into play. Hillary. But I tell you what, if whatever's going on with these broadcasts, I'm going to keep saying, putting up the same pictures. I don't care if it bothers them. You see Barack Hussein Obama holding an upside down flag with that little SH and that's it, eating grin on his face. This right here is the problem. One of the biggest problems, what you're looking at on the screen. Trump took care of a lot of this stuff, and it was proven with these meetings with Saudi Arabian prince and all that stuff, putting to bed this damn deal he did with Iran and the domestic things he's done to commify our nation and encourage illegal immigration, encourage illegal voting. He's caused millions of Americans hardship and financial loss with his now fully discredited Obamacare crap. And he was a student of Saul Alinsky, okay? He's a commie, and, I lose 10 minutes of the precious time of my life trying to restart a broadcast because they've got these creatures in these platforms embedded, okay? And they cause problems with a push of a button. I've seen it done to other creators, and I know it's sometimes it might be the weather. Sometimes it might be a problem. Other than that, but most of the time, they are screwing with people. So anyway, that's my little rant. Hi, Rain. How you doing? Gary. Let's go. Randy's here. Tammy. Miss Mendersue. Baby Nurse. Sissy. Wayne's here. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, please give me thumbs up, folks. Helps the video to get around. Darla. Robin. Kim. Nice to see you, Tammy. Ann's here. Let's see. Todd's here. Nice to see you, Todd. Sherry, Rebecca. Flannel Cheese. All right. We are family. Oh, I don't want to get a copyright strike because I sing so good they think it's the actual recording. But anyway. Outlandish, how you doing? Araceli. Nice to see you. Cole, nice to see you. Sparky. All right, everybody. I got a lot of videos. Trump seems like he's everywhere. He's everywhere. And he was at a little thing for McDonald's. He was met the Crown Prince at the White House. He gave a speech to a lot of people with this Middle East coalition. He's just doing a lot of stuff. and we just trying to keep up with him. I tell you, there is a thing going on in Iran, and this is a picture I sniped off there. It's a video that I don't think I should play. Restart. They're talking about Iran being named back to what it used to be, Persia. And this is the opposition in Iran. It's a well-funded, respectable group. And I think we're going to see huge changes over there. This stuff doesn't come out by accident. The timing is no accident. And with the Crown Prince, this alliance has been going on since prior to Trump being elected the first time. And we're seeing the fruition of this where the deals Trump made when he went around. I could play that video where all these nations bent the knee to Trump, submitted to Trump, and now we're seeing it going to be activated. There's a lot of stuff happening in Ukraine in the last 2 days, a whirlwind of things that have been going on, last-minute maneuvering, but I believe the hammer is going to drop and that war is going to come to an end. And I don't know if it'll be before Christmas or not. Might be January or February, but no, not much farther. Whoa, where'd everything go? There we go. Okay, not much farther than that, folks. I'll show you some reports that came out. Everything, every area that they have an ounce of power, they're trying to exert power. From the Federal Reserve, that puppet they have on the Federal Reserve, holding up interest rates, all these judgeships where we got people that were installed that have dual citizenship or were naturalized citizens, weren't even American citizens, and LGBT. Excuse me. Oh, you know what? Judges, and everywhere they can, they're throwing monkey wrenches in the works. But Trump is soldiering on, and I think he's in a good mood. I think that things are coming together, maybe a little slower than he would like. We don't know what's operations. We don't know what's this Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. I still say there's a possibility that is an operation. It created the maximum demand and attention on the Epstein situation. And you see how this is just the beginning, how it's blowing up in their face, like with Stacey Plaskett and Hakeem Jeffries. They're turning out to be complicit. You know, I played that video of, what's her name, Katie Couric. And I said we hadn't seen her in a long time. And she did that video bad-mouthing Charlie Kirk. I saved that video. And I said, I hope his widow sues her eyeballs out of her head. But in the back of my mind, I was saying, man, we hadn't seen or heard anything out of her in a long time. Let me see if this is the video. Nope, this is about the bridge. I'll get that in a minute. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Which one? Here it is. Maybe this is it. No, that's Crown Prince. I'll get to him. Here we go. This must be it right here. Oh, there's Katie. There's Katie Kirk. Here's a, I don't know when this, October 4th, 2023. They're bringing out all assets deployed. Okay. She did that interview with Fetterman, bad-mouthing Charlie Kirk, and I'm like, wow, well, what's bringing her out of her crypt? Didn't know, Katie. Katie didn't know. Give her a break. Yeah, okay, now we know. Now we know. So, yeah, I see somebody said Marjorie Taylor Greene was op. Well, I think it's a deeper op than most of us know, but we're going to be putting two and two together. And yeah, it is hard to keep up. Miss Mendersu stuff is spinning. But here's this creature right here, Larry Summers. Who's Larry Summers, people ask. I'm deeply ashamed of my actions. Why are you ashamed? And recognize the pain they have caused. I take full responsibility for my misguided decision to continue communicating with Mr. Epstein. Yeah, you and Bill Gates and how many other people are all of a sudden sorry? Katie Couric, sorry. ABC News is the one who put that picture up. Larry Summers, a former Treasury Secretary under Bill Clinton. He was supposed to testify along with Hillary, remember? Back in October. And they didn't do it supposedly because of the shutdown. Now they're saying they're not going to do it at all. But anyway, and former president of Harvard University. Oh, Harvard, that's where the professor that was working with James Comey on leaking classified information about Comey's discussions with Trump to the media to smear Trump. Oh, okay. And he's stepping back from public life. Stepping back. Now, I'm going to go way back in my videos. You remember when the judge who was persecuting General Flynn, I forget his name. I could see his face. But anyway, he sent a letter to Obama. I'm stepping back. They come up with these goofy play on words to not say the harsher truth. You're resigning. You're hiding. I'm stepping back from public life after his apparent conversations with Jeffrey Epstein were released last week by the House Oversight Committee. Oh, there's going to be more than that going to be released. Summers is currently a member of Harvard's faculty, according to the Harvard Crimson. It has been previously reported that Summers maintained a relationship with Epstein for many years, particularly during Summers' term as president at Harvard from 2001 to 2006. I think Epstein got charged the first time, or convicted, charged or convicted, I think, in 2006. You'll see a lot of this stuff like Stacey Plaskett babbling. Well, I was texting him before he got convicted in 2019. Oh, you mean convicted the second time after Trump threw his illegal plea deal, sweetheart plea deal in the trash and had him rearrested, which the press will not cover. But I cover it right here. No. So anyway, I got a clip of him going to class. I don't know if I can get to it, if I got it right here, right now. Let me see. I got so many videos, so many clips. With Mr. T, it's better to let him say things in his own words. But where in the heck did that go? Oh, I'm on my thumbnail. That's right. Here he is. Here he is in class. I want to show you all some stuff about my thumbnail too. But anyway, how Larry Summers opened class yesterday. POV. Your Harvard professor opens class by recognizing he's in the Epstein files. I don't know how well you can hear it.
Some of you will have seen my statement of regret, expressing my shame with respect to what I did in communication with Mr. Epstein, and that I've said that I'm going to step back from public activities but for a time, but I think it's very important to fulfill my teaching obligations. And so, with your permission, we're going to go forward and talk about the material in the class.
Well, stepping back from public life means he's out of there. He's resigning. He's resigning. And probably, no, not probably, definitely lawyering up. So anyway, I was going to put it on my thumbnail because I had the words "a new alliance." And this is probably one of the most important developments that's happened over the last, well, we know it's been about 15 years, really, but one of the most important modern developments in geopolitical alignments, and that is the U.S. and Saudi Arabia alliance. So I was going to make my thumbnail something about this, saying a new alliance with the Jets. But, I would have had to take and expand the Jets, make them bigger, and try to make it fit in a thumbnail. It's just the picture itself does not lend itself for a thumbnail picture. But this is a good representation of the new alliance. And we'll get into the importance of that in a minute. Trump does. He refers to it. And I settled for this thumbnail that I made because I got a kick out of a little short clip where this woman got blasted in the face. And along with several others, I mean, he swept it right across the crowd. And as I've said before, it is stress relief to watch these things. It's good for you. It's good for you. So I broke it down into a series of pictures and put "they've been warned" because I came across I think it was another ABC blurb about D.C. federal judge is considering pausing deportations in D.C. And it's like, that made me think about the judge said, well, you got to warn them before you spray them. You got to warn them. They've been warned. They've been warned. Where's that clip? Let me find that clip. It's a short clip. And, I have the one of Hillary on the bike. That's also very relaxing. I play that on a loop. But I should play this one on a loop. But you see him warn them. And then he just blasts them all. Here we go. That's during Operation Charlotte's Web. Let me get it here. Blast her in the face for me. I want to stop right where she gets to the kisser. Here we go. Almost got it. Try it again. Oh, that's okay. I've got some. I got some still shots. I'll show you guys that, in case you want to make a poster to put in your rec room or something. But anyway, this is North Carolina. That they say is going swimmingly, even though they're doing their best to disrupt things. So they're going to be looking for a judge. Here, which picture do you all like best? Let me see. Here's one. Wait a second. There, that's a good one. That's soaking her face right there. There you go. See, don't you feel better already? I do. But what is it I noticed about this broad? Oh, yeah, I think it's visible in the video. I think she's some kind of a nurse. I mean, why do these people destroy their careers? Yeah, there's their little badge. And I guess, it's just nice to know that they've got tear gas or pepper spray or whatever it is in there. I guess she's holding a coffee and all in their mouth, their eyeballs, and in their coffee, when they come out there and scream and yell and disrupt law enforcement activities. They have to come up with something hard and fast about this. This is not protesting, okay? It's distracting. It's harassing. It's interfering. They threaten. And that is, the Constitution says we have the right to peaceable assembly. And this is not peaceable assembly. So, but anyway, yeah, I enjoyed that little clip. As short as it was a very enjoyable clip. Wouldn't you agree? I agree. Is it bear spray good? Yeah, they ain't getting over that. See, they're going to try to sue that they were wrongly sprayed. And they're not getting out of the way of the car. It's just that simple. They're not allowed to crowd the vehicles. They're not allowed to impede. How about those military? Well, some of them were retired military senators and representatives. I've got the clip telling soldiers, don't obey unlawful law orders. You know what? A puke. Where is that? It's got music, so I don't know if I'm supposed to play it or not. But where is it? Who the hell? Here they are. Look at how damn arrogant they are. Oh my God, look at that face. Here she is. Look at that, where the face is frozen at. How many of y'all seen this? And what they're doing is, it's got music, so I don't know how much of it I can play. I know you all have seen, most of you have seen it. Who hasn't seen this clip of them calling for the military not to obey? They're saying, don't obey unlawful orders. They're insinuating that the Trump administration is acting unlawfully and attacking the very legitimacy of Trump's presidency like they did his first term. I'll play some of it. I don't know if it's even, it might be canned music. Canned, I don't think. See if anybody recognizes it, whatever the hell the song is.
Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly. Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
Is pitting our uniformed military.
You're under enormous stress and pressure if you did something wrong because you're going to get your ass busted, okay? And if you understand what is going on in this country and what every one of these creatures on the screen participated in undermining our country's sovereignty, stealing, defrauding the American people with this influx of illegal aliens to skew election results. if you're part of the military or part of the intelligence community that understands your all's criminality, it's not stressful. They are looking forward when Trump gives the signal to drop the hammer. Okay, you're trying to talk to the TDS fanatics, okay, and the ones that are still in leadership positions that participated in this coup against Trump. Okay, they're stressed out. They should be.
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard,
and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army, or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up the ship.
Yeah, they're calling for insubordination, disobedience. They're calling for them to violate their oath, and they can try to soft pedal it any way they want, but the bottom line is that's what they're doing, and they're scared. They're scared. Where is that? One of these idiots gave an interview. Let me see. Is this it? What's this one about? This is sad. I'll play this in a little bit. Charlie Kirk's head of security. I almost didn't copy that because it's so distressing. And I get myself wired up when I think about the people who are trying to take advantage of his death through conspiracy theories and stuff like that to get clicks. It makes me very, very angry. But I try to cool my jets, you know. Let me see what this is.
I believe that.
Oh, this is Stacey Plaskett. We'll get to her. She's got more excuses than I won't say, but anyway, let me see. Yeah, it's about to go down, I believe. Hi, Pappy. How you doing? Who'd I miss? I'm sure a bunch of people will come in, but it's hard to keep running my yap and scroll through these items. Who's this jerk? Here's a jerk. Oh, who's this? LinkedIn co-founder, another toad frog. LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman, ties to Jeffrey Epstein, face Trump-ordered investigation. Mirroring. They all been caught mirroring. In the wake of the newly released Epstein files last week, President Trump ordered an investigation into Democrats mentioned in the files, including LinkedIn co-founder and major Democrat donor Reid Hoffman. This is ABC. Who Trump just said today they need to lose their license. Hoffman's ties to Epstein have previously been reported, including a trip he took to Epstein's Island. Hoffman, a trip he took to Epstein. How many trips do you think he took? Hoffman has said he regretted the relationship. Which he said surrounded fundraising for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. What kind of verbiage is that? My trip surrounded fundraising. See how they spend a lot of time cooking up these words to try to justify crap. Oh, I went to a satanic island because it surrounded fundraising. Yeah, okay. You know, when the pictures come out that we've already seen that have been taken down on the internet of the temple, of the sundial, of the altar they had out there, and where that all that stuff was that they covered up with a tennis court, how it's oriented to the stars. When that stuff comes out, boy, people are going to really see just how close they came to dodging a bullet. Here's one of these jerks that was calling for the military to ignore Trump. That's basically what they're doing. Protect Kamala Harris. New Senator Mark Kelly slams Stephen Miller for calling Democrats traitors. I got shot serving our country in combat, and I was there when our boss sent a violent mob to attack the Capitol. A damn lie, okay? This platform pushes that damn lie. I'm not talking about Rumble. When they put the description up of the Capitol. Here he said, Trump sent a violent mob. It's the coordinated BS like BBC is doing with altering the tapes, altering the video of Trump. Those were decent Americans who were set up and persecuted, okay, by a criminal organization. And you, buddy, Mark Kelly, are part of it. I know the difference. Well, attorney Andrew Branco, who I talk about a lot, Benedict Arnold was also shot at in combat for America, Mark. Exactly right. You were insinuating that Trump was giving illegal orders. You're insinuating that Trump, his presidency is unlawful. And you're not insinuating, you're accusing him of sending a violent mob, which is a damn lie. I didn't mean to be like this, folks, but I'm angry about, starting a video and having problems right off the bat. I'll tell you, after my last broadcast, oh, you guys think I'm crazy. I had uploaded by who knows, multiple pictures from Telegram were in my folder of Ukraine leaders sitting at a desk, like one picture, 3 copies of that one picture of another Ukrainian woman that I guess she's in the administration of Ukraine with a Ukrainian flag. I had a picture, an AI picture, multiple pictures of Bolsonaro's ex-president of Brazil, his head in a net hanging from a tree. Other multiple copies of someone putting their foot on top of Bolsonaro's head on a soccer field. About a dozen combat videos. Some of them multiple copies, which takes up a lot of data. That I did not upload any of that. And it wasn't there when I went to broadcast in my last broadcast. When I finished up early, the last time I broadcasted it, that crap was crammed into my device. And so when I started, I had to delete all that stuff. Took me about a half an hour to go through and make sure, is this something I need? Did I do this? Did I upload this? I don't want to erase something I uploaded. But, you know, some of those combat videos are very gruesome. I mean, very gruesome. I mean, there was a video of a attack in Pakistan where a guy had a vest on, and it showed his remains, okay, after the vest went pow, okay? People, parts hanging off of cars. I don't upload stuff like that. So, anyway, I have my suspicions, and I've divorced myself from certain entities, and we'll see, you know. But that could very well be what the disruption is, you know. Because I know, you know, they can pull things out of your devices, out of your computers. They certainly can insert stuff. So anyway, I'm animated and angry, which I'm settling down. I didn't start the first broadcast that way, but when I waste another 10 minutes of my precious time trying to get a decent broadcast through, and I'm already 42 minutes into this broadcast, but I got to keep rolling. Let's play some Trump at McDonald's, the franchisees, okay? McDonald's impact. And, you know, it's just some fun stuff. And let me get my headphones in because, as you all know, my hearing is not the best. And I can't hear the videos, so it's hard for me to comment. I have to go from memory. That, you know, so anyway, I will play a series of videos from Trump. My voice might change because of this microphone. Please bear with me, folks. Hold on. Here we go.
You would have had a catastrophe. You probably would have had a bankrupt country. You are so damn lucky that I won that election. I'm telling you. It's actually true. I hope the press covers that. This, you know. Sometimes he got up and he ranted and raved and bragged. I don't brag. I just give you the facts. It's true.
Okay, I've got my microphone on. I don't know how it changes my voice, but yeah. So yeah, he's giving a little pep talk to the McDonald's franchisees, but he's also letting everybody know how close this country came to damn ruin. Communist ruin. You know, and I've said in the past, I'm a student of history. I've talked about how my mother was a young girl during the Adolf times, okay? And also of the Bolshevik Revolution and Trotsky and Stalin and Lenin and all that stuff. People don't realize how fast things can disintegrate and how quickly fear and terror and power over your physical being can change society, where you live in an absolute freaking nightmare compared to what we are now. So anyway, let me go ahead and play this video, see what he got to say.
Prior to ascending to Air Force One, which is quite a nice plane also, we served only McDonald's almost every time. On occasion, we couldn't find one, which is pretty hard to believe. We'd go another route, but we really did. You fed us very well, and I even got Bobby Kennedy to eat a Big Mac. And he told me he loved it. He didn't want that publicized. He told me he loved it. I thought it was great. I want to thank McDonald's chairman and CEO.
Bobby Kennedy. They spilt the beans, Bobby. You ate a Big Mac and you liked it. So you have to, you know, that's Trump's way of putting out that, you know, McDonald's can be a good place to have a meal. And, you just don't go in there and eat 5 quarter-pounders. But anyway, the White House put this out. Our close friend Grimace says, "Make America Great Again." So they're trying to rehabilitate McDonald's. You know what? How many people of the last 5 generations or more had their first job experience at a McDonald's? When you come to think about it, had the first experience of waiting on customers, counting money, showing up on time, keeping a clean workstation, remembering things like quality, service, cleanliness, on and on you go. So McDonald's is a very important part of our employment ability to train young people. I'd rather give them all a stint for a year in the military, but hey, I guess McDonald's do all right too. Todd was at Burger King. Jack in the Box and fast food. That's where people is my voice any different with these headphones in, folks, or is it okay? Because with playing these videos, it's better. I can hear them a little bit better. So anyway, let's see what he's got to say in this video.
Too. I see it. I've been in plenty of McDonald's that clean beautifully. You must have some awfully good incentives because they are really amazing places, the job that's done. But upon taking office, I signed an order requiring that for every new regulation, 10 old job-killing regulations have to be eliminated. So if we put in a new regulation, then we get rid of 10. Otherwise, you don't get the new regulation. And, we got rid of the drip, drip water. We call it the drip, drip, where drip drips out of the sink. States with tremendous water, so much water, they have nothing but problems getting rid. They had restrictions on water. It comes down from heaven, right? They had restrictions on water. So you want to wash your hands, or like me, I want to wash my hair. I lather up. Then I turn that, and there's no water. The water's drip. They put a restrictor on. I won't mention the third item in the bathroom because I always get criticized. I used to mention that, but I don't mention it anymore because you know what I think you do. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you shouldn't be owning a McDonald's franchise. You wouldn't do well even with a McDonald's franchise. But no, the water restrictions totally lifted. All restrictors are gone.
I'm suffering with one of those dopey faucets myself. It's a couple of years go by, get a little bit of lime buildup inside that restrictor, and you can't get any damn water. But anyway, so yeah, my voice is lower but clearer. A little bit of feedback. Well, let me get a lot of videos out of the way, and then I'll get back to my old way of babbling into the microphone. Let's see. Here's the arrival of the Crown Prince at the White House. And pretty soon there'll be a great big ballroom there everybody can enjoy. Now that's the way you greet dignitaries. Remember how Biden would do it? I mean, just going to see an old creep at the White House. But here you're going to see the President of the United States. And it's majestic as it should be. Let me see what this one is. There's a picture of Ronnie Reagan in the back. What is this? What is this one about? Oh, former BBC boss says network shouldn't pay Trump anything as legal threat looms. Stop on a dime. This is Fox News. In an interview with BBC, the network's former director general warned that shelling out cash to Trump as the president threatens to sue the networks over misleading edit of his remarks. I don't think we should agree to any money being paid to Donald Trump. Well, okay, you're talking about license fee payers' money. You're talking about public money. It would not be appropriate. Okay, so you're using your public's money to misrepresent and defraud people. Okay, nah, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay, and like Boris Johnson said, he's not gonna renew his license fee until you do straighten things out with Trump. But anyway, this is a video I was gonna play earlier. Let's see, yeah. Remember I said these construction projects are hog troughs? Well, here, I think it's over double. This is the Key Bridge. Remember, everybody in the media was saying, oh, if it doesn't get put back up after 90 days, the economy is going to crash. It is a major artery, a lifeline, and all this stuff. Well, nobody's done anything with it. And they've doubled the estimates, more than doubled.
Other news now, the cost to rebuild Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge has more than doubled, with estimates as high as $5.2 billion. That overpass collapsed back in 2024 after a cargo ship hit one of its pillars, killing 6 construction workers and crippling the city's port. The bridge is not expected to reopen until late 2030, 2 years later than initial estimates. City officials say the price tag has jumped due to economic conditions and higher material costs, but that they're working with the Trump administration to try to speed up that rebuild.
Yeah. Well, get Trump involved. You know what does Trump have to do? Everything? Get Trump involved. It'll get built. You put a bunch of bureaucrats and thieves in charge. I'm holding the mic different. Maybe that'll help. But anyway, here's Stacey Plaskett. She's going to be talking about,
Mr. President.
Oh no, this is where they're trying to, you know, ABC was trying to cause trouble with the Crown Prince over that guy Khashoggi. I'm not sure if this is a clip or not, but let's see what they got to say here.
And today and tomorrow we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment, real investment and real opportunity by details in many areas. And the agreement that we are signing today in many areas in technology, in AI, in earth materials, magnet, etc., that will create a lot of investment opportunities.
So you are doing that now. You're saying to me now that the $600 billion will be $1 trillion.
Definitely, because what we are signing, it will facilitate that, and
I like that very much. Go ahead.
He works hard.
No, that's great. I appreciate that. That's great. We're doing numbers that nobody's ever done. And in all fairness, if you didn't see potential in the U.S., you wouldn't be doing that.
Definitely.
You don't want to lose money.
As you said, Mr. President, it's the most hottest country in the planet. But what you're creating is not about opportunity today. It's about also long-term opportunity in the United States of America that will affect American economy positively in the next coming decades. Preparing the right foundation of emerging technologies, that's a game changer for America in a good way, and we want to be part of it.
$1 trillion. That's equal to our last stimulus. And that's just from one country. Like Trump has said, they brought in how many trillions? 21 trillion or 25 trillion? Anyway, here I had this. I'll go ahead and play this. Not a lot of people know this. You know, how many people taking up housing that aren't even citizens? But you know what? They were talking about this population in North Carolina. It's up to 25% of the population are not U.S. born. I didn't know that. We're finding out so much. But anyway, here's Steve Miller.
40% of the population of rent-controlled housing in New York City are foreign-born. Think about that. In one of the largest metropolitan areas in the world, 40% of rent-controlled properties are being lived in by people who weren't even born in the country. What kind of system is this? We bring in people from foreign countries, and then we pay to lower the cost of their housing, while people who were born here have to pay higher prices. So when President Trump is reducing net migration, that is what's going to ultimately, along with all these other steps, deregulation, historic tax cuts, going to bring down the cost of housing.
Yeah. Let me ask you about this.
Well, not only that, it not only does it deplete the housing market for availability, but a lot of them, we pay their damn rent. On top of it, on top of the hardship of having increased housing costs, when they're on government assistance, we end up footing the bill, not just for their housing, but their medical care, their food, their education, for their children. But don't worry, Mom Dommy's going to straighten it all out. You know how? He thinks he's going to turn New York into a proxy for the United Nations. He's going to follow international law. Okay? Let me tell you something. I don't think he's going to be in this country this time next year. I think his little scrawny rear end will be back wherever he came from.
You said you would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu based on the 2024 International Court Arrest Warrant. Next UN General Assembly, as mayor, would you do that?
So I've said time and again that I believe this is a city of international law, and being a city of international law means looking to uphold international law, and that means upholding the warrants from the International Criminal Court, whether they're for Benjamin Netanyahu or Vladimir Putin. I think that that's critically important to showcase our values, and unlike Donald Trump, I'm someone who looks to exist within the confines of the laws that we have. So I will look to exhaust every legal possibility, not to create my own laws to do so.
On the other hand, this is also a world event. Does that not count a little bit?
Well, I think we are a global city, but I also think what New Yorkers are looking for is consistency in the way in which we talk about our values and follow through on them. And that's why I think these warrants from the International Criminal Court, they are worth fully exploring every legal possibility to actually follow through.
Unlike Donald Trump, he's going to live in the parameters of the laws we have. Who the hell's we? You got a mouse in your pocket, buddy? We go by the supreme law of the land's Constitution. And you go to put your hands on some a dignitary or a head of a foreign state, you're going to have problems. And that's why all of it, we're coming back to what's the only way to handle this kind of crap. The military is the only way. Because of the damn judges that go with this kind of rhetoric. Dan Scavino put this up to give us a reminder. This was yesterday, the anniversary of this picture. 9 years ago today, President Trump and the legendary Prime Minister Shinzo Abe at Trump Tower, reminding us that this is dangerous business, okay? Shinzo Abe is no longer alive. He was murdered. Let's see. Devin Nunes, Miranda Devine, FBI, Secret Service butchered the Thomas Crooks case and invited conspiracies. We deserve the truth. You know, Jack Posobiec put up something about this guy was a furry. And now I'm holding my mic different. I hope it's better than it was. You know, a couple of years ago, I got in a little back and forth. I was a guest on somebody else's program, and I was saying, something about these furries. And oh, don't pick on furries. They're good people. You know what? They were. I don't know, when the stuff started about cosplaying, 15, 20 years ago, and on up to relatively recent, it was just some kind of fun things kids got involved in. Their parents helped. they wanted to look like their favorite comic book character or whatever, and then they started a furry thing. But you know what? I said it a couple of years ago and I caught some heat for it, but I was adamant that it is degenerated into a bunch of filth. And you have this character, Thomas Crooks, and you have the one that killed Charlie Kirk, and that person's so-called girlfriend. I don't know what the hell they think they are, but they're all involved in that degenerate garbage, and that it's being promoted on channels, as I've said many times, that are targeting preteen kids. So we're going to have some sweeping changes in how these platforms operate. So anyway, here's something else to keep in mind, folks. Don't forget, she's not getting a lot of coverage. But let me tell you, her work, Linda McMahon's work, is doing more to change our culture for the better. Give us a chance to get out from this, excuse me, this iron headlock that these communists and whatever the hell they want to call themselves, these fanatics, Marxist fanatics, have got us in. And the article's Trump administration is taking bold action to dismantle the federal education bureaucracy and return control to the states. Secretary McMahon says several key programs will move to other departments in Washington as the administration works to fulfill Trump's promise to eliminate the Department of Education. Hear, hear. I say hear, hear. Here's some more of Trump meeting with the Crown Prince. I'll get these videos played while my signal's going good. I want to see the one where he busts that reporter, tells them they're no damn good.
Mr. President, is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office.
Who are you with?
Why should Americans trust you?
Who are you with?
And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the
But the
worst.
question is
One of the
legitimate,
worst
sir.
in the business. But I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful. And I've made America more successful by far than it ever was, and that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. There would be nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Just yes, Mr. President,
Please,
if you allow me to answer. I feel painful about the families of 9/11 in America, but we have to focus on reality. Reality based on CIA documents and based on a lot of documents that Osama bin Laden used Saudi people in that event for one main purpose, is to destroy this relation, to destroy the American-Saudi relation. That's the purpose of 9/11. So whoever buying that means they are helping Osama bin Laden's purpose of destroying this relation. He knows that strong relation between America and Saudi Arabia, it's bad for extremism, it's bad for terrorism. And we have to approve him wrong and to build our relation, continue developing our relation. It's critical in the safety of the world. It's critical against extremism and terrorism. about the journalists. It's really painful to hear, anyone that been losing his life for, no real purpose or not in a legal way, and it's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc., in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that.
Well, he's talking about Khashoggi, and Khashoggi was an agitator. Khashoggi had a lot of enemies. He was betraying his own country. And you hear the Crown Princess talking about Osama bin Laden, okay? Talking about what he was pushing for was not good for Saudi Arabia, not good for Persia, which I think he's talking about Iran. And they investigated it. He lost his life in an unlawful manner. But like Trump said, he was a controversial person. Why the hell does the U.S. This happened at the same time of Operation Kayla. And they talked about what happened to Khashoggi. Operation Kayla was when Trump got that first terrorist that died like a dog in a tunnel. Remember that? And all they talked about when Trump was telling about the operation to avenge her. He beheaded her, an American citizen, after he had her as a slave, if you know what I'm talking about, for years. He ended up beheading her, and Trump did an operation and took him out. Al-Baghdadi, okay, died like a dog in a tunnel. What were their questions about? This Khashoggi guy, who wasn't an American citizen, wasn't even a permanent resident of America, and was going around, wrote a couple of op-eds for the Washington Post, like 2 op-eds, and they acted like he was some great journalist, when all he was a subversive and a political agitator that was not a citizen in our country. And where they got him at, he wasn't even on American soil. He was, I think, was over in Turkey. So we're supposed to go to war with Saudi Arabia over some guy that gets whacked in Turkey? And they pay no attention to the retribution that was dealt out for Kayla, okay, and her family, and us as a country. I'll say it, avenge the death of a good young lady by an animal. So anyway, yeah, they are a disgusting bunch. We're going to keep the story straight. Roland, I hope you do all right with your checkup tomorrow. Got to get them arms and legs moving, man. It'll help your heart get stronger. Don't got to do it a lot, but use it or lose it. And, has anybody heard today is the day that Nate the lawyer was going to have his tumor operated on. I checked earlier today, but I have been trying to prepare for tonight. But he posted this morning. Here we go. My last picture before they cut my hair off. He had some wild dreadlocks. Well, you can see that for yourself. I'm scared, but we get to test if prayer works. Oh, don't think that way, Nate. You don't test if prayer works. You don't know what God has in store for you. Like I said, every now and then God wants to pluck a rose, okay? I bet it does, he says. There's no atheists in foxholes. This is one hell of a foxhole. So there he is. And many of you probably had the same experience when you got a surgery. The doctor comes in and just starts drawing on you where he's going to open up. So you see there on his forehead, he's got a mark. It looks to me like they're going to go in there with maybe laser, something cryogenic maybe to freeze it. and extract it somehow. I don't know. But I showed you all the imaging of his tumor in his brain, and it's large. But it's not a what I've seen is called glioblastoma, which is what Ted Kennedy got, and he 6 months he was gone. They couldn't operate on glioblastoma. It's kind of like a spider web. It goes all through the brain with thousands of feeder lines and growth patterns. And also the one whose name we do not mention, okay, had the same thing, a glioblastoma. So apparently they feel this is a whatever type of tumor it is, it's treatable. It's supposed to, he's supposed to be finished, or they should be just finishing up with a surgery. So let's see if we hear anything about that. Here we have another video of the Crown Prince with Donald J. Trump. This is one of the phases before we start dropping the hammer in this country, is straightening out the Middle East. And the next one that is right around the corner, it's knocking on the door, is straightening out the Ukraine situation. But anyway, let me go ahead and play this video. Oh my gosh, I hit the wrong button. Let me, there we go.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me. But he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax. And ABC's, your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something.
So why not just sign it now?
I think the license should be taken away from ABC because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump and then Trump wins the election in a landslide, that means obviously your news is not credible and you're not credible as a reporter. So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein, who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep of the fund guy was with him all the time. What's his name? Who? Reid Hoffman. I don't know Reid Hoffman, but I know he spends a lot of money on the radical left. Reid Hoffman, in my opinion, should be under investigation. He's a sleazebag. And those are the people, but they don't get any press, they don't get any news, and you're not after the radical left because you're a radical left network. But I think the way you ask a question with the anger and the meanness is terrible. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you. Who else has a question?
Ha ha ha. No more questions for you. No soup for you. So anyway, he said, I just put it in my pocket. I have a list of Democrat names they gave money to. I just put it in my pocket. Me pat tapped his pocket. Did you all catch the name he dropped? Did you all catch the name he dropped that I've been dropping for a long time? Did you all catch it? Nobody else catches it, but we know because we're the news. KNEWS, Mountain Man News. Who knows the name I'm talking about that I have dropped many times? I've said his name many times, and nobody else says it, but Donald Trump said it tonight. We're dun 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 boom boom. Ha ha. Here we go. What is this picture? Oh, it's Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein and Hillary Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein and Bill and Hillary getting off of a plane. Let's see. Hoffman, no. Good guess, but not. I will, while I get this report up, just to keep the record straight for posterity, we're going to read this about the Clintons. And now, I'll take this microphone out and see. Now, how do you hear me now? Let's see if anybody gets it. I will give you a hint. I call him Mr. Sweaty Man, and I've been talking about him for years. You all are my witness. And Trump just dropped his name. First time I've heard anybody talk about it other than me. New Bill and Hillary Clinton are refusing to appear before the House Oversight Committee for their Jeffrey Epstein depositions. Right? They put it off. With many pointing out how House Democrats suddenly have nothing to say about it. The Clintons have indefinitely delayed their scheduled depositions before the House Oversight Committee in an investigation to Epstein. Sources familiar with the matter confirmed today. The move has fueled accusations that the pair is trying to avoid Republican lawmakers who are leading the investigation. Bingo, Todd, bingo. Rain got it. Weissman, Miss Mendersu, Mr. Sweaty Man. Trump, you replay that clip of Trump, you'll hear him say Weissman. Okay? However, the Clintons claim that there are scheduling conflicts that are keeping them from attending and are scheduling anything at this time. Oh, it's scheduling conflicts. Okay, we get it. You're busy. House Oversight Chairman James Comer saying the American people deserve answers about how federal agencies handled Epstein's crimes and the powerful figures who associated with him. The Clintons, along with 8 former top law enforcement officials, including ex-attorneys General Merrick Garland, William Barr, Loretta Lynch, as well as former FBI directors James Comey and Robert Mueller, were formally subpoenaed in August. Hi, Mac, how you doing? Bill Clinton admitted in his 2024 memoir to flying on Epstein's private jet, dubbed the Lolita Express, at least 4 times. How about 24? In 2002 and 2003 for the Clinton Global Initiative work. However, he has denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and said he did not visit the private island, you liar. Hillary Clinton's subpoena cites her family's close relationship with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, including the hiring of Maxwell's nephew for her 2008 presidential campaign. Did you all know that? Did you all know Hillary Clinton hired Ghislaine Maxwell's nephew for her campaign? I bet a lot of people don't know that. Let's see, what's the rest of this say? Oh, that's the end of it. So anyway, Let's see what this is real quick. Oh, here we go. All assets deployed any way they can trip up the Republicans and prevent the American people from regaining control of their own government. Just in, a federal judge has ruled against the Texas new congressional maps for the 2026 midterms, and directing the state to revert back to its previous districts. The decision is a significant setback for Republicans. Okay, we know it. I don't have to read all that. We know what the game is. And that's why I say, and they say in the board, that the military is the only way. We're going to have to do something about that, aren't we? You know, here's the idiot that I was watching a video. Might have had that woman getting her face sprayed. Comments on Border Patrol smash car window, arrests 2 citizens for allegedly warning illegal aliens. And I put in there, interfering with federal law enforcement, bye-bye. What they did was they were chasing the ICE agents around, okay? And ICE pulled them over and made them get out of their car. They wouldn't get out of the car. He busted the window. They arrested them for interfering. So here's a nitwit said they better expect to be more than impeded. What does that mean? After all, their domestic terrorist organization reciting past crimes. This person is a foreigner. They don't have good command of the English language. Listen to the sentence structure and the words they choose. They better expect to be more than impeded. After all, they're a domestic terrorist organization reciting past crimes, and we hold the reasonable suspicion they will continue to recite, and therefore we would be guilty for their crimes should we let them go freely. That's a Chinese way of saying vigilante, to be vigilante against ICE. So I said, you're insane. Stop supporting illegal entry into our country. Tens of millions invading, and you want to attack law enforcement? Keep inciting your fellow ignoramuses, and Americans will continue to be hurt. You may not even be American, but if you are a subversive fanatic. Get the hell out. So that's the word I'm going to start using. They're fanatics. Since I use the word radical, okay, and I get in trouble for it, instead of saying that, I'll say they're fanatics. TDS fanatics and Marxist fanatics. Here's what I got in trouble over. I called this character, where is it? Right here. I called him a radical, and I got my video taken down. The middle-aged Turks. But who put a bug in his ear? He's coming around. Okay, listen to what he's got to say.
So I'm on the left, I'm a Democrat, but what the hell was that? That was crazy. So he's apparently got these Congress people on speed dial, and he's watching. I read the whole story, of course, and he's watching the entire hearings, and he's texting people different directions. Did anybody know that Epstein was running our government? I mean, that was amazing. Did you see? She doesn't know who Rona is, so she misspells it in the text. She thinks it might be an acronym for something, and then she says, Ms. Rona. Rona's her first name. It's Rona Graff, the assistant for Trump. She literally has no idea what she's asking. She's only asking that question because Epstein directed her to ask that question. And interesting that Epstein at that point is directing people on how to damage Trump. So that doesn't serve any of my interest for me to tell you that, but that's what's happening in that hearing, right? You got to be fair and you got to call out what's actually happening. But what's interesting in all the emails is Epstein goes back and forth, back and forth. Should we hurt Trump or should we help Trump? Should we hurt or help? And depending on what Trump is saying. And he categorizes Trump as dangerous. My guess as to why he thinks Trump is dangerous is because usually when someone is bought or blackmailed, they stay bought or blackmailed.
Yeah, well, he's making points. And it's the majority liberal audience. And they say Trump was named 1,600 times in the Epstein files. He was mentioned 1,600 times. So they're talking about Trump. So every time they run their mouths about Trump, they say Trump was mentioned in the Epstein files. Oh my God. Well, it's because they're obsessed with him. They know that if he gets in there, there's going to be hell to pay. And let's see. Here's a video Trump put up, I believe. Let me find it. Jesse Waters. I saw a question in the. Yeah, he might have got. I believe so, Todd. He got his cage rattled. He got his cage rattled. I don't know who Pam Geller is. Mac. It'd probably come to me in a little bit. But anyway, here's Jesse Waters. Trump likes his reports.
The bill to release the Epstein files is headed to Trump's desk. It's passing through the House and Senate. The Epstein release has been a roller coaster. Is the ride over? We don't know. We know Democrats think it'll damage the president, but now it's backfiring on them big time. Remember, Epstein was a Democrat. He was a Democrat donor, and he hung out with Democrats and the liberal media at all of his homes. Larry Summers, who worked for both Clinton and Obama, was a pen pal with the pedo, even asking Epstein for dating advice. And now he's stepping down from his gig at Harvard. Oof. Bill Clinton was supposed to testify last month, but his lawyers are playing games. Careful, you can go to jail for ignoring a House subpoena. House Democrat Stacey Plaskett's also getting Epstein. She took thousands in donations from the predator, and he fed her questions during a congressional hearing. Raskin says it was a perfect phone call.
They've arraigned a Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of a hearing. And of course, I don't think there's any rule here against taking phone calls in a hearing.
But all these Epstein revelations are suddenly making hips clam up.
Do you condemn Stacey Plaskett just talking to a sex trafficker during a hearing?
I haven't had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett.
But does that trouble you?
I have not had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett.
Well, we just found out why Hakeem doesn't want to answer any questions.
Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein.
Hakeem's team sent an email to Epstein asking for money and inviting him to dinner, telling the pedophile that Hakeem was the Brooklyn Barack. Democrats and Epstein shared a lot of things, especially TDS.
I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me, but he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax.
They still can't get over their old buddy Jeff. Swalwell trusts the Epstein people more than Pam Bondi.
By nature of who is being forthcoming and who is not, I believe the Epstein estate over the DOJ right now.
What does that mean? I guess he still has trust issues after Fang Fang. And this just in.
New hoax alert. New hoax alert. New hoax alert.
The LA Times thinks Trump might destroy the Epstein files. How do you destroy evidence of a crime you didn't commit? Doesn't make any sense. Even CNN's fact-checking Democrats.
The president has not been accused of any crimes or wrongdoing as it relates to Jeffrey Epstein or these files, even with these emails being released. That's one thing that we need to make clear. But one thing about...
He has not been charged yet. Yes.
Yeah, there's no accusations, though, of any wrongdoing.
Trump's tired of hearing the Democrats squeal about a dead pedophile.
You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase. Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead. Go ahead.
In the file,
Quiet.
Trump's the most transparent president in history, releasing MLK, JFK, UFO, and Epstein files. But the press is never satisfied.
Why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
No, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. You could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you.
ABC doesn't care about the victims. They spiked the Epstein story to get in good with the royals years ago, remember? Now they're trying to resurrect it to drive a wedge between Trump and Republicans. Sorry, doesn't work that way. Just like the shutdown, this stunt's going to hurt them a lot more than it hurts him.
Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, that's where he said, quiet, Piggy. I don't have to play that clip now. It's only about 8 seconds long. Jesse had it in his, and he had the other clips of some of the stuff I've already talked about. Hi, Stanton, how you doing? Quiet, Piggy. Stick a pig and watch him squeal. So, Felix, how you doing? Let me see. Oh, I want to thank everybody for going to buy me a coffee. We are coming around the bend for November already. Soon it'll be Christmas. So we're into the third week of November. And I want to thank Roland's out there. He stopped by and buy me a coffee. And my friend Aaron, that was one of the founders of Buy Me a Coffee. I call him the Godfather. He stopped by this week. And Mike and Bev helped out, along with Wayne. And I have nicknames for a couple of my people who have been with me for a long time. Gary's the Gary's the chairman of the board, and Aaron's the Godfather. And what happened to Bubba? I haven't seen him in a couple of days, but he is one of the founders of the Mountaineers. So anyway, that's from way back. 4 years ago or so. Graybeard, how you doing? Oh, Uri Geller's wife. No, I don't know. I've never heard that name before. It seems I've heard it. I'm just not sure. How does it pertain to this situation? But anyway, I got to see how to condense this about Ukraine. Because believe me, something big is going on. Something big's going on. What was flying around yesterday? Poland will raise the terrorist threat level on the railway. Remember I showed you the video? After 2 terrorist attacks, the threat level was bravo. But with the appearance of Ukrainian saboteurs, the authorities decided to raise it to Charlie. Oh, okay. So Poland is going to demand from Russia and Belarus to hand over Ukrainian saboteurs who they suspect of blowing up the railway tracks that supply Ukraine. I don't even know how to comment on this one. Hand over the Ukrainians that tried to blow up the railway to supply Ukraine. It doesn't make any sense. But it is some kind of operation. But what came up out of the blue, Zelensky will fire the head of his office tomorrow due to a corruption scandal. Zelensky office may be headed by Oksana Makarova, former ambassador to Ukraine. Okay, somebody's getting fired. This is about the explosion on the railway line. Was carried out by Ukrainian citizens. Okay? Stick with me. Stick with me. This is important stuff. We haven't been talking about Ukraine. Sources in the Turkish Foreign Ministry say they want to revive the negotiation process with Russia and Ukraine. Oh, Turkey is getting involved. Who the lobbyist is and whose initiative is unknown. Keep in mind, Trump today said Turkey went down 33%. I'm talking about the Thanksgiving turkey, not the country, and everybody laughed. So he did put a little jab at Turkey today, okay? So let's see where this goes. The sources, there will be no representatives from Russia in Istanbul on Wednesday, Peskov said. Moscow has not received any information from Kiev about the intention to resume negotiations. So, in a nutshell, Turkey announces these big peace talks with Zelensky. And Russia said, well, we hadn't heard about it. We haven't got any representatives going. Well, wait a minute. Wait, dash more. Zelensky stated that he plans to go to Turkey on Wednesday, preparing for the intensification of negotiations with Russia. It has started. Trump's special envoy, Stephen Witkoff, will visit Turkey on November 19th and participate in negotiations with Zelensky. Zelensky himself is supposedly going there to activate negotiations with Russia. Oh, remember now, this is one of the keys, is getting things squared away in the Russia-Ukraine war. So, calls by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen to send more money to Ukraine amid corruption scandals are like trying to cure an alcoholic by giving him another case of vodka, said Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, a friend of Donald J. Trump, remember? The Polish prosecutor's office has launched an investigation into acts of sabotage on the railway, okay? Terrorist sabotage carried out on behalf of foreign intelligence. Okay. We're sticking with it. Well, that was yesterday. So today, what pops up out of the ground with all this back and forth? Now, even the head of Ukraine's main intelligence directive, Budanov, has woken up to the peaceful track. The window of opportunity to end the war will open in mid-February, he stated. So Ukraine's saying there's going to be peace in mid-February. Well, something happened. That Zelensky isn't liking. Reduction of Ukrainian armed forces by 2.5 times and no foreign troops in Ukraine. France said they were going to put troops in Ukraine, remember? New details of the peace plan from economist journalist Oliver Carroll. According to him, the plan includes the following points. Reduction of Ukrainian army by 2.5 times. Only the Ukrainian army, i.e. only the armed forces of Ukraine, excluding other military units. Other military units means Azov Battalion, which has already been designated as a TERROR group, not by half as previously assumed. That means a 75% reduction. No foreign troops in Ukraine, no foreign diplomatic aircraft in Ukraine, ban on long-range weapons that can reach St. Petersburg and Moscow. Carroll adds that Ukraine is currently critically weakened by a corruption scandal within the country, which the U.S. is exploiting to try to force Kiev to agree to this plan. Well, that was a news reporter, right? Well, this comes out. The head of the Ministry of Energy in Ukraine, Svetlana Grinchuk, was also dismissed. Also, she has already managed to flee the country. Was she paying Hunter Biden? I mean, why'd she flee the country? And it seems like there is scandals. The Verkhovna Rada has dismissed the Minister of Justice of Ukraine, Herman Haloshenko. More resignations are expected soon. Plus the one I mentioned earlier that Zelensky himself said. So people are being pressured and being fired. Ran off. Witkoff canceled today's meeting with Zelensky in Turkey because the president of Ukraine came to Ankara, which is Turkey, with a plan that Russia will never accept, according to Axios, citing an American official. The whole problem is to get guarantees that will establish peace in Ukraine and that the remaining part of Ukraine, that means they're going to give up land, will fulfill the obligations they take on in case some peace is signed. I really don't see who could guarantee their fulfillment except Russia itself and its army. In other words, what Witkoff is saying is they're going to give up their land, and what's left, they're going to do what they agreed to do, and the only one that is going to make sure it happens is Russia and its army. So in other words, they're being told this is the way it's going to be, and you're going to like it. Well, let's see what happens. The peace plan from USA and Russia not only includes not only Ukraine's renunciation of Donbass, but also a reduction of armed forces. This was reported by Financial Times journalist Christopher Miller. He said halving the Ukraine army, cutting in half. Now we know it's 75%. Ukraine giving up certain weapons. Ukraine renouncing Donbass. Zelensky will be dissatisfied with this. Well, it doesn't matter what he's happy with. Doesn't matter. This is the way it's going to be. Ukraine will have to give up part of its territory and some types of weapons as part of a war cessation plan being developed by the USA and Russia. Reuters writes. This is again about Christopher Miller claims the size of plan provides for halving the U.S. with the army. We know about that. This was all today. These reports just kept coming out. A high-ranking delegation of U.S. Army representatives arrived on an unannounced visit to Ukraine to resume negotiations on ending the war, reports the American press. Zelensky will meet with them tomorrow. Military is the only way. U.S. Army representatives unannounced after this Turkey peace deal got canned. The American press writes that after Kiev, the negotiation group from the American military will go to Russia. All this is supposedly an attempt to revive the negotiations. At the same time, the Russian side knows nothing about any visit. What do you think is going to happen in that meeting with Zelensky? Why isn't the news talking about the armed forces going on an unannounced visit to Ukraine? They're going to lay down the law to Zelensky's what they're going to do. A framework agreement to end the conflict between Russia and Ukraine will be agreed upon by all parties this week. This was reported to, well, take it for what it's worth, Politico, by a senior White House official. So somebody is putting out confidence that whatever this group is going to see Zelensky, he's going to take what they put in front of him. The talks scheduled for tomorrow between Turkey and Steve Witkoff have been canceled. I already read that to you. Zelensky will go to London to offer him position of prime minister. I ain't worried about that. I just want to make sure I don't leave anything out. What this was Zelensky and Turkey trying a high-profile stab at creating a peace where they don't give up their army, they don't give up their land, and they tried to put everybody on the spot, and the kibosh got put on it. The administration of U.S. President Donald Trump is this is about Venezuela. We know about this, conducting a special operation to capture or eliminate Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, the New York Times reports, citing sources in the American government. So we got three things going on, really. Excuse me. I didn't get a chance to hit my sneeze button. I tried to. The administration of Donald Trump, okay. We've got three things. Straightening out our backyard, helping Russia straighten out their backyard, and this alliance with the Middle East. So what you saw there was the development of reports going from this out of the blue peace plan sponsored by Turkey. And that's, I think, why Trump said Turkey, the value went down 33%, is because by the time Trump said that, everything got the brakes put on it. No, there's going to be no meeting in Turkey, and you're going to get a visit from the U.S. Army. They're en route, unannounced, and we're going to be going to Russia after that meeting, and we're going to have peace. I think that's exactly what they were told. Isn't that what you all got out of that thread of reports? I want to play this for you. Somebody put this up and said, this guy must be a politician. Me, if I ever became a politician. He is a politician, but I'll say this for him. At least he's honest.
Corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved. Yes. But if I'm part of that corruption, I'll defend it.
Corruption's not bad unless he's doing it. If he's doing it, it's all right. At least he's one of the honest ones. I got some clips from Trump talking at this Middle Eastern conference group, and I'm going to play them, and we'll comment on them as I play them. But you see, I got my mic in now. But you see, things are accelerating and coming to conclusions. Okay, in our hemisphere, over in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, that's the three theaters that things are happening on an accelerated pace just in the last couple of days. Okay, but anyway, here we have Trump. I got Hakeem Jeffries. I can play him tomorrow. I'd rather listen to Trump. Oh, wait a minute. One more piece of news here. The Hobbit. The Hobbit. George Conway. Look at him. I want to go back to the Shire. George Conway. Who put this up? Yashar Ali. George Conway is looking to enter the crowded race to replace Jerry Nadler in New York's 12th Congressional District. He's going to be running against that Kennedy I showed you doing that kind of gay singing thing. Anyway, what a joke. He might be in jail before then. I wonder if he's gone to the island. I don't know. I was going to put this on my thumbnail. Trump posted this. I was going to put these pictures and put underneath the world knows. The whole world knows about the auto pen presidency. Just a bunch of radical, fanatic Marxists that took over our government, defrauded the American people out of their control of their own government, just like Herman Goring did. All right, let me play these. See the look at his face at the end of the clip. He said something mischievous. Let me play it, and then we'll talk about it.
Remember, you said that. I love the Fed job. To me, it's the easiest job in the world. You play golf for 28, 29 days, then you go and make a little speech, tell everybody, in the case of the current guy, the wrong information because he has no clue. But if you have good instincts, it's all based on instincts. I see they want to hire 3,000 economists, 3,000, to report to the Fed chairman. What are they going to do? Take all this information? 3,000 economists. That's why they're spending $4 billion on renovating a building that should have cost $25 million to do. They should have spent $25 million. They're building a basement into the Potomac River. I could have told them that's very tough to do and it doesn't work and it's very expensive. But they're up to $4 billion headed by this clown. But we have 3,000, think of it. They want to hire 3,000 economists. So they took a poll and they interviewed 71 people. And of the 71 people, 2 people got it right. 2 people. One was a great economist whose name I won't tell you because I don't like him personally, but he is good. And the other one that got it the most right was a man named President Donald J. Trump. Do you believe it? Everyone else was wrong. And I didn't have an economist. Well, I had Scott. But we got it right, didn't we? Huh? We got everything right.
He's talking about Jerome Powell. Yeah, I'm coming up on the 2-hour mark. I see a lot of people going to bed. But anyway, Jerome Powell is cost this country hundreds of billions of dollars. You couple that with these judges that are withholding and interrupting on enforcement of removing illegals and tying up in court and trying to pull strings for James Comey. On and on and on. James Comey, I was going to say. They're costing us billions. Billions. But we're marching on. We're marching forward. And like I said, I know I've been going a long time. But I'll play this nice young man right here. Democrat caught colluding with Epstein during congressional hearing. yeah, I think you'll like this video. And I want to tell you all, once again, thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I know you all are saying your prayers for that young man undergoing an operation for a tumor, Nate the lawyer. So keep him in your thoughts. But anyway, I want to play this video for y'all. I know you'll enjoy it. And I should be going live again tomorrow night. But if you're subscribed and hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live, right? So anyway, you all enjoy this video. Have a great evening. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
So a Democrat gets caught colluding with Epstein during a congressional hearing on Capitol Hill trying to get Trump. What a shocker. It is so comical at this point, man. And the mainstream media, silent, you know, they want to push their own little narratives. Oh man, you guys, listen, I like, take as much rope as you need. Take as much rope as you need, because I'm sure Trump is gathering it all right? Because each and every one of you are going to go down at the same time. You brought this upon yourself. Your hatred for one man got you crashing out and moving sloppy. This is why y'all haven't gotten him yet. It's because your hatred is stopping you. Your hatred for this man is stopping you from achieving your overall objective. You're too emotional. Every step that you make is a misstep. It's a fumble. It boomerangs. It hits you right back upside your head, man. Yo, hold another L on this Sunday.